In this wild episode of Entitled People, this crazy lady accused me of kidnapping my stepson and then attempted to kidnap him from me. The backstory is that I'm a mixed ethnicity individual who has been mistaken for many different races in my 29 years on this planet. But guess what? I'm proudly a mix of Caucasian and African American. Usually, it can be figured out, but the difference with me is that my father is Caucasian, therefore my hair is straight. I come from Texas and often get mistaken for being Mexican, but since moving to Massachusetts, I've never really faced any race-related issues until today. My wife is Caucasian and had a child before we got married. His father is not in his life as much, and I took the responsibility because I love this woman and I love this little boy as if he were my own. He's 4 years old now and I've been in his life since he was 1 year old. Anyway, onto the story. My wife had a list of items she needed from the grocery store and a few errands to run. Typically, she takes care of everything herself since I work nights and am usually asleep. However, on this day, I was wide awake and offered to take care of it all for her. She works hard and does a lot, so I felt it was necessary to do something for her so she could just relax for the day. I brought my son along so my wife could have some time to relax. It was a good opportunity for me to bond with my son. We ran some errands together, and then we went to the grocery store to finish up our day. My son, a typical 4-year-old, was brimming with exuberant energy as he dashed ahead of me, giggling and charming everyone he encountered. As I looked through the aisles in search of canned corn, my son sprinted to the end of one aisle where he encountered an older lady entering from the other end. With uncontainable excitement, he greeted her with, "Hi, me 4, and me Ryan." His innocent and endearing nature never fails to bring joy to my heart. The woman glanced down and greeted me, "Well, hello there. You shouldn't be wandering around alone. Let's go find your parents." I didn't pay much attention to her words, assuming that she simply hadn't noticed me. "Ryan, come back here, buddy, please," I called out. He eagerly dashed back to me and started spinning in circles because, well, he's 4. Meanwhile, I continued browsing the shelves when a woman walked by and stopped right behind me. I didn't think much of it because it's just a grocery store and everyone has to share the aisles. I turned my basket around and started walking toward the front cash registers, but then this lady blocked my path. I politely said, "Excuse me," and tried to walk around her, but she moved her cart in front of me again. I couldn't believe it. I thought she was just confused as I tried to go around, but she blocked my path. Our conversation went like this: "Me, I'm sorry, we'll get out of your way." The lady, "Oh, I don't think so. You're not going anywhere with that child." "Me, you mean my son?" The lady was adamant, "That's not your child. He's white and you're Mexican. You probably didn't even know his name until he said it to me." I retorted, "Sure, whatever lady, can you just move? My wife is at home and she's anxiously waiting for us." The tension was palpable as we faced off over this unexpected confrontation. "Lady, stop with the lies. You're not taking him anywhere, you pervert." The whole time my son has been standing close to me, holding onto my leg because he's genuinely scared. I was getting angry because I hadn't had much sleep and I have a short fuse anyway. As you can see, he's standing close to me because he trusts me, and you're scaring him, so how about you back off? "No, he's scared because of you. He just doesn't know how to express it yet." She gazed at my son and said, "Come on, sweetie. I'm here to rescue you. Come with me." Fortunately, my son firmly refused to go with her, but she disregarded his words. Suddenly, she seized my son and started to run. I was completely taken aback and couldn't comprehend what was happening. My son began to scream in fear, but the lady reassured him, saying, "Don't worry, sweetie. He won't hurt you, I promise." Suddenly I snapped back into reality and I begin to chase after this crazy witch. While running through the store I yell for people to stop her and that she's kidnapping my son, and thankfully a worker stops her before she exits. "Lady, why are you stopping me? This Mexican here is trying to kidnap my grandson." My son is bawling his eyes out, extending his arms out, calling for me. This lady was relentless and would not let go until my son, even after he slapped her face multiple times. I laughed a little, not gonna lie. A situation happened where a manager arrived and asked about what was happening. Instead of letting me explain, a lady pointed at me and accused me of trying to kidnap her grandson. I clarified that the boy was my son and asked her to let him go. The manager was unsure about what to believe. I don't blame him, he was caught in a weird situation, so I pulled out my phone and showed him pictures of me and my son that dated back a year ago as proof. This lady still would not give up and accused me of faking the photos. Like, how would you do that exactly? I'll never know, but whatever. Unfortunately, there were only 2 other women at the store who were supporting the person causing trouble and claiming that I was trying to take my son away. They said that we couldn't be a family because we had different skin colors. One of them even called the police, but I was relieved because I knew the security cameras would show what happened. Despite that, I called my wife to ask her to come to the store and help resolve the situation faster. When I explained the situation, she rushed to the store, arriving at the same time as the police. The disruptive women were giving their statements to the officers when my wife arrived. As soon as she entered, my son cried out, "Mom, help." My wife, fiercely protective like a mama bear, immediately became furious when she saw one of the women holding my son. "Let him go now," my wife demanded. The woman replied, "Sorry sweetie, I was just trying to protect him from this pervert over here." Lady number 2 said, "We saw him trying to kidnap him, but this lady saved him." The cop looked at the lady, confused, and asked, "Officer, I thought this was your grandson." The wife replied, "I have no idea who that lady is," as she took out her phone and showed the officer a picture of my mother-in-law. The lady said, "Okay, I'm sorry. He's not my grandson, but I was only trying to protect him from this dirty pervert over here." Another lady, "Yes, I saw the whole thing. He grabbed the child and tried to run off with him, but this lady stopped him." Yet another lady, "Yep, I saw it too. He needs to be arrested, and you," pointing at my wife, "should be grateful that this lady was here to save your son because you just let him wander off forever." "Wife, who are you talking about again?" All three of these crazy ladies pointed at me. "Wife, oh, you mean my husband." First lady, "Husband." Wife, "Yeah, who do you think called me and got me here so fast?" I showed my ID to the officer and the manager, and my wife did the same. We all took out our phones and showed the cop our family pictures to prove that we were indeed a family. After a nod of approval, he returned our phones and made some notes. Despite our efforts, the three women kept insisting that our situation was a hoax and accused my wife of being involved in the kidnapping, demanding our arrest. At this point, my wife couldn't take it anymore and expressed her frustration with some choice words. I won't repeat them here, but she certainly made her feelings clear. The final blow came from the three women. The police officer asked the manager if the security cameras were working, and the manager confirmed they were. Then, they all watched the footage together. The officer saw me arriving at the parking lot, taking my son out of the car, and walking around the store. Most importantly, they saw the moment the woman grabbed my son and ran. When the officer returned, he asked if I wanted to press charges. One of the ladies said yes, but the officer sharply questioned why she was answering for me and told her to be quiet. Then he asked me, and I said yes without hesitation. One woman was accused of trying to take a child, holding the child against his will, lying to the police, and putting the child in danger. The other two women were also accused of lying to the police. My son gets bruises easily, and the woman left some marks on him when she grabbed him, but he's okay. Because of this, she was also charged with child abuse. I have a court date later this year, but it's uncertain due to the pandemic. The police officer will check in with me in a few weeks. Who do you think was not being very nice in that situation? I mean, it was pretty clear that the boy just wanted to be with his dad, and he was even hitting the lady and telling her he wanted to go to his dad. It seemed like she should have realized that he was with his dad and not in any kind of trouble even before that happened. I don't understand why she was so concerned when the kid didn't seem upset or anything. She thought about approaching the child and asking if the man with him was his father. However, she hesitated because she believed the man looked Mexican, and it seemed like such a far-fetched idea to her that she didn't even consider it as a possibility. Her other two friends were just supporting her without fully understanding the situation. Due to the serious nature of the charges being pressed, such as attempted kidnapping, false imprisonment, providing a false police report, and child endangerment, this situation seems very grave. What would you do if you were in this situation, and who do you think is at fault? In this case, my mom confronted an entitled mother who refused to release her grip on my hair, which ultimately led to serious consequences for the entitled mother. As a kid, I was adamant about not cutting my hair under any circumstances. So I had very long, pretty dirty blonde hair. And as a kid, a lot of people would ask to touch it, and I was fine with it as long as they had my permission. So when I was 6 years old, my mom took me to a grocery store to buy some things for dinner that night. We went to the store, and my mom got everything she needed except for the bread, which was on the other side of the store. She asked me to go get it because I was small and fast. When I reached the bread section, I picked out the brand we usually bought. At that time, I liked baguettes and other types of bread. I got so engrossed in selecting the bread that I completely forgot my mom was waiting for me. I grabbed a loaf and started heading back to my mom. Suddenly, I felt someone forcefully pull my hair while I was on my way back from the bread aisle. I was at the store when a kid about my age and his mom came up to me and started pulling my hair. I was so upset that I started crying hard, and my mom heard me from across the store. She came over and told the lady to let go of me. My mom said, "Let my daughter go." It was a really scary experience. The entitled mom said my child just wanted to touch her hair. She has very pretty hair. Me, she pulled on my hair, it hurts. Mom, you could have just asked. You can't just pull kids' hair. I can call the police for assault. The entitled mom accused me of harassing her when all I did was politely ask her son not to touch my hair. She threatened to call the police on me, but I calmly explained that she was the one who had inappropriately touched my child. I told her that involving the police would not help her case. The entitled mom called the police, and we both gave our statements. The entitled mother exaggerated the story, saying that I allowed her kid to touch my hair and that my mom harassed her. However, my mom told the police what happened on our side. I was supposed to report on something, but I was too scared and tired to talk about it. Luckily, they checked the security footage and saw what happened. After that, things are a bit of a blur for me. My mom decided to take legal action and sue the rude woman for attacking me. As a result, she was sent to jail for 6 months and fined for lying to the police. It's pretty obvious that if you're caught on camera doing something wrong, you'll get caught, so I don't understand why she thought she could get away with it. Ever wondered why someone would pull on someone else's hair so hard that it makes them cry? The person who posted this is eager to hear your thoughts and what you would do in this situation. Let them know your thoughts now. Hey everyone, don't forget to crush that subscribe button on the YouTube channel and ring the bell icon to activate notifications. Thanks a million for tuning in, and I'm super stoked to see you in the next video.